man, Jermall Charlo, the former unified champion, can't catch a break or can't give himself a break. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, he was supposed to be in the co-main event of Earl the Truth Spins versus Tim Tszyu, the long-awaited return of Earl Spins, and the long-awaited return of Jermall Charlo. But Australia has banned him from entering the country because of his legal issues, in which has been highly documented, especially in the sport of boxing. But not only has Australia has banned him, you know what I'm saying? He still haven't get his visa. They probably still working, but Dan Rafael has reported it's gonna be too late. His family is bashing him. You know what I'm saying? When the tough gets going, it's supposed to be your family that holds you up or protect you. But damn, but the fans get on him. Australia don't want him, and his family is bashing him. Y'all already know Jermall Charlo's twin brother with Jermall Charlo, and if y'all been following the channel, y'all already know I'm a huge supporter, a big fan of Jermall Charlo. So this is unfortunate, but the information is already in the public form, and people already putting it on Twitter and X form on Twitter, social media, and Jermall Charlo's beautiful wife has a lot of tough things to say about Jermall Charlo. And it's not Jermall Charlo that's going out there trying to say this and stuff. It's not saying this. In my opinion, I wish this thing would have been kept in house. You know, because at the end of the day, look, family love each other. They may not like each other, hate each other, fight, fuss, and all that. And we seen throughout the years that we seen the wifeys at odds. We see them fight. You know what I'm saying? The world see them fight and they kiss and make up. We seen Jermall Charlo, you know what I'm saying, not seeing eye to eye. And then we do see the brotherly love that they show. So by publicly exposing him, you know what I'm saying, and trying to downplay or expose his feel sorry comeback storyline, man, the family, man, they just, especially Jermall Charlo's beautiful wife, had a lot of tough things to say. Well, let's start with this. Because Jermall Charlo had a recent interview with Andre Ward, and of course, look, I'm saying this. I hope that everybody hash it out and everybody have a good family union and everybody that is there for one another and stuff like that. But this is borderline calling Jermall Charlo a deadbeat dad. You know what I'm saying? After having his family, having a wife, 5 kids living in the house, he lost that, had a divorce, got custody of his kids. We've been documenting the good things, the positive things, and it's just sad that we was looking for this Jermall Charlo positive storyline, the comeback story, because at the end of the day, that's the most lucrative story in sports, the comeback story. So Jermall Charlo, overcoming his mental illness or mental health or instability, and now it's like his family, people that's close to him, saying, you know what, don't believe how he's acting or what he's saying in his recent interview with Andre Ward. Shy Rock, shout out to Shy Rock, said, unfortunately, I'm sure everyone can tell from this video and talking about the video with Andre Ward that he's intoxicated. But to address one thing first, yes, Chantel, which is the ex-wife of Jermall Charlo, and shout out to Chantel and the kiddos. Chantel and I have put our differences aside for the sake of our children. Time, growth, God allowed us to move forward because we wanted our kids to grow up together with healthy relationships. They didn't deserve to carry the weight of an adult issue. Now let's get into what Jermall failed to mention. Speaking about the interview with Andre Ward, in which, Andre Ward asked him about his relationship with his twin brother, him saying that, what, I'm tired of, it's not always all glitz and glamour being the twin and getting constantly asked you about your twin. They're different individuals. That doesn't mean that they, just because they twins, they're the same. Why they not speaking together? Why they at odds? He also explained that he loved his brother, and all I'm saying, folks, man, y'all family, man. This fighting in public is, yo. Let me keep on reading, because I know if Jermall Charlo was in the need of, or in the dangerous health wise, um, they would be there for one another, and and whatever money that was owed, and when she explained that I'm gonna read, whatever money that's owed to Jamel, because Jamel lent the money, right, and she's saying he ain't paid back, you know, that money wouldn't mean anything if he wasn't here, right? So it's anyway. Let me keep on reading. Now let's get into the Jermall field dimension. The bitter baby mama narrative is he's trying to push is completely false. If Chantel wanted to, she could expose the facts with text messages and voice recordings showing that he repeatedly refuses to see his children. He refuses to pay his court ordered child support and has gone months without making payments. He sees his kids only every few months, despite countless messages from Chantel telling him the kids want to spend time with their father. Messages that he repeatedly ignores. She chose peace instead of the worrying about her image with the public. But that's neither here nor there. For the past 2 years, Jamel and I have quietly helped pick up the pieces. We kept the kids in sports, bought them clothes and shoes, made sure they had a great Christmas celebrated. As Jermall Charlo is the uncle of those kids, so he is his brother's keeper. He is an uncle. I mean, he's stepping up, just like you would step up if any family is not going through it physically, mentally, financially, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The family, that's what family is known for, is to step up and pick themselves up. And that's what I mean about this situation with Jermall Charlo trying to regain his career and things of that nature. The family still should have protected him. If there's no outsider trying to expose him, why would the family trying to expose him? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying, because in the end of the day, when y'all, like I said in the beginning of the video, many of the members have had their differences publicly, and then they came around and hashed it out, um um just like Shy and Chantel. If y'all can hash it out, these brothers will hash it out. Don't mean to take it public, but that's just my opinion. Um, let's go with what Chantel's shoes. So she continues said, um, baby, for the past 2 years, Chantel, where I stopped at. Um, for the past 2 years, Jamal and I've currently paid for the Christmas celebrated, birthdays together, paid for the haircuts because their dad wouldn't take them, helped them with school clothes and supplies, and supported their extracurricular activities, helped pay for private training, and by actually showing up. Meanwhile, Maul couldn't even make it to the basketball game that was 2 minutes from his house because he was too drunk or high on mushrooms. Man, exposing him to his extracurricular activities, in terms of substances. Damn, man. She continues, on top of Jamal owing Jamel over 100,000 and refusing to pay him back. But you're in the club weekly. Anyways, he's the one that ignored Jamel for months, as well as he has repeatedly disrespected me personally and has publicly thrown shade at Jamel in multiple interviews. We're also taking care of his oldest son by putting him in amateur boxing, purchasing everything he needed, and investing our time into him while Maul was out partying and drinking with Jamel's 16-year-old son at his house. See the difference? Jamal would show up, take a picture if he is around his kids, and dip. Didn't even bother to show up to his kids' graduations. Just typical internet dad. Wow. Basically calling him a deadbeat. Man, this is, how does the kids feel about this? You know what I'm saying? Publicly. I mean, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, there has it now. If there is somebody from the outside or in that is trying to expose Jamal, and somebody would be like, ah, let's keep on going. And I know that people want to defend themselves publicly, but if we know that if people have knowledge that he's not right mentally, then why kick a horse while they down, right? Chantel is doing everything she can. She's working 2 jobs to make ends meet after complete lifestyle change, and she gets little to no help. This narrative that she's somehow the problem needs to stop. We refuse to let Jamel's blood struggle while we are living comfortably on the other side of town. Despite the tension between the brothers, our children are growing up together as cousins without the drama. We're creating healthy memories despite a very toxic past that we're all trying to move beyond, which is a beautiful thing. Family stepping up is a beautiful thing, but stepping up and still throwing him in the dirt and publicly, I don't know how healthy that can be as well. And to be honest, where the Charlos is at right now, a lot of media folks is not covering them nor their private life like that until y'all put it out there. So that's what I'm talking about. Like I understand the frustration, and it's a good thing that Jermall Charlo and Shy has stepped up to help out their nephews and nieces and stuff like that. But I don't think those are the highlights of. I don't even think the Family Matters really is too much of the highlight of his interviews. Of course, we always go into a chat Jamal to Jamel, but I think in that with the blessings of God that y'all all gonna come around and be a happy family. And I feel personally there's no need for it. I'm not saying there's no need for the frustrations. I'm not saying there's no need for people to defend themselves, but I think this is a lot. This is a lot. Let's keep on reading. Um, so much that other people can. Jamal's alcohol abuse has become so severe that he suffered multiple seizures in front of us, his children, and his ex-wife while he were all out together. At some point, there's only so much other people can do. He has to want help for himself, and maybe Shy is the one that's less emotional about the situation, and probably the one that she hears the frustration of Jamel, hears the frustration of Jamal's ex-wife, probably hears the frustration of the children, and says she probably, you know what, none of y'all gonna speak up. I'm gonna speak up. I'll take the bullet for it. He could hate me all he want. Maybe that's the energy. I'm not sure. Despite everything, despite everything. Now this is very this is the good thing about a lot of things that she has wrote, but this is the part that I do like. Despite everything, I'm generally glad to see him back in the ring, in which you already know he might not be back in the ring because of his legal issues. Australia is very, very strict in giving visas away. That's like almost like, remember when Devin Haney fought George Camboso, and they didn't want to give the visa to Bill Haney because of his past legal issues, and he finally in the 11th hour got the visa. Hopefully, Jermall Charlo could get the 11th hour because with him not fighting, not everything is just gonna be like all negative, negative, negative. At least that would have been the only positive thing that people could be talking about him and stuff like that. Despite everything, I'm generally glad to see him back in the ring. As Jamel's partner, though, it's frustrating watching what happens behind closed doors while the public only hears one side. People don't hear Jamel, they only see his frustrated emotions, but he holds in everything he has had to carry privately, then explode sometimes on interview, which, lol, I can't help. Um, but I think that Janelle is probably in a better state of mind to not say what Shy said, you know, because in the end of the day, he's still his brother. And the end of the day, I think when push really comes to shove, and it's really and when you want it down, family's gonna be there, man. Jamel's not gonna let his brother down like that. Vice versa, and that's the reason why you guys are helping him out, or even his children. It doesn't necessarily look like it's helping him out, but sometimes family, and I have experience in my family when one of my cousins, she's on a down and out, and she'll ask me, oh, can you lend me 50? Can you lend me this? Can you lend me that? She was a wonderful mother, but then substance abuse took over, and now that she's gone, you think I care? You think I'd even think about all that? The money that I lent on that? I wish she was still here. If her kids is feeling the burden as they grew as an adult and still feeling the burden. But all I'm saying is, I think they're doing a wonderful job in helping out Jamar Charlo's children, Chantel's children. Man, if it were, I love the dynamic of Jamar Charlo and his wife. I remember in the beginning of his career, that's what they was promoting, a family man. That was inspirational. Jamel Charlo and his situation was inspirational. The relationship that Shy and Jamel Charlo, I support a lot. I support the Charlos, especially Jamel Charlo. And I do see it in the interviews that he want to say things, that he's frustrated about things, and it looks like everyone when he does start talking about everything comes out as a machine gun. Um, but in the end of the day, man, I wish that this would have stood behind closed doors, um, because we've seen publicly things get out of hand and things came back together and people hash it out. And I think eventually, I think that's what's going to happen in the future. And then this will be an irrelevant story. Um, so just like you're protecting the kids, protect this from getting out there and bigger. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm doing a video about it, and maybe somebody going, "You contradict yourself. Well, if you don't like that it's out there, why are you talking about it, Punch?" I'm talking about it because I think I'm talking about it from a positive story, a point of view. You know, these brothers are brothers, family is family. Um, the immediate, the wives that come into these brothers' lives and stuff like that, and you know, I just feel like it's unfortunate the situation, but shout out to Shy, shout out to Jermall Charlo, shout out to Chantel, shout out to Jermall Charlo, and shout out to the beautiful kids, man. Hopefully y'all be the happy family that God intended for all y'all to be, and and at the same time, when y'all are going at each other, y'all also looking out for one another and stuff like that. Um, Hopefully he can have a relationship with a good parent relationship with the mother of his child because come on man, 5 kids, you know, they got to be loved there somewhere somehow, you know, and both sides, you know, the relationship on both sides hasn't been all perfect, but they always find a way that love prevails, um, togetherness prevails, and all that. So shout out to everybody involved. Shout out to the parents that have raised Jamal and Jamel and the siblings. So man, I'm speaking this on a positive note, man. Hopefully y'all work things out. As unfortunate that's gone public, but love is love. I got my prayers for y'all, man. I think y'all gonna be a happy family. You know, once y'all patch all these things up. Jamal Charlo, you got a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? People just don't. You're not just inspiring people while you're in the ring. You're also people looking up to you outside of the ring. The way that you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got boys that's gonna be men, and you want them to handle their business the way that they should handle their business when they have their family. So get it together, my brother. Get it together, family. Keep protecting them as much as y'all can. You know, because at the end of the day, nobody gonna give a damn. Remember, they say that boxing is a lonely sport. Just be there for them. Shy, be there for him. Jamel, be there for them. I know I'm just speaking from a guy from the outside and saying you don't know what we've been doing. Y'all strong enough to keep rolling, and you know y'all fighters. So and you ladies are has come up together with these fighters as well. So y'all fighters as well. You know y'all could weather the storm, adjust, and you know be victorious as a family. Y'all already know it's Punch Drunk. Love y'all. God bless, and on to the next.